Merry Christmas Eve, everybody. In my time, it is Christmas Eve already. In your time, by the time you watch this video, it may be Christmas Eve as well. Well, today is my first discussion, and I have to admit that I'm a little bit nervous. So if I make any mistakes or if I start repeating certain things, then I'm sorry in advance because I am actually very nervous. And even though it might not sound like it, my voice will start to falter soon. But today is my first discussion, as I said, and I will be discussing a topic that has everybody in shock. A lot of people hyped, mainly more shippers as well as hardcore Pokemon fans who have been following this series since it first aired, or people who have been following this series for a couple series now. Like me, I've been following this series since the Sinnoh Saga, so that's one, two. This is my third series of Pokemon. For some people out there, it's their three, probably their fifth series, but for me, it's my third. I'm 17, so I was literally born when the entire Pokemon anime started. So you can't blame me for not following this series from the beginning. Okay, but to get to the topic at hand, I'm discussing a particular episode, as I said, that has everybody hyped, and that episode goes by Ash and Serena's first date, the vow tree or the oath tree, depending on how you've seen it, and the present. What what the episode consists of is Ash and Serena are supposedly supposed to go shopping to buy presents for their Pokemon. And from the picture that we've gotten in a magazine scan, and I have the magazine scan in front of me, I also have the zoom in picture of the picture on the magazine scan of that episode, which is very, very blurry. But I also found a picture from this guy, from this, I want to say guy, and if I'm saying it wrong, if I didn't get it right, then I'm sorry. Um, if you're a girl or a boy, I am sorry. I don't know, but I'm just going by what I think, and I'm just going by my gut, and I want to assume that you are a guy. But if you are a girl, I apologize for getting it wrong. But I want to give him credit. This person goes by the name of Clamel, and they made a clearer picture of the blurry picture that I have that depicts Ash and Serena's first date, the vow tree, and the present. And it's just a really good picture. And from the picture they drew and from the picture that is released in the magazine scan, I get the vibe that the overall mood of this episode is going to be romantic and it's just going to be a nice episode, honestly. I mean, we'll see a lot of things, and one thing we'll hopefully see is the bond that Ash and Serena share will become even stronger than it already is. And if any of you guys keep up with the Japanese raw version of the anime, just like I do, you have seen the Miko race or the Skittle race that took place between Serena and her mother Grace. And in that episode, we were shown that Ash and Serena do have a strong bond. That the bond that we saw in the beginning from when they first met is just getting stronger and stronger as each episode goes by, just as the series progresses. So this may be the ultimate test of their bond, which I highly doubt. But we will see them shopping together, so we will see them talking together as well. And really, if this is really their date, if this is really a date episode, then we can expect the shopping to just go by quick. So we can expect the shopping to be a compilation of pictures of them just throwing around random items for their Pokemon. Serena probably buying bows and clothes and stuff for Pancham and Fennekin, and Ash, who knows what Ash will buy for his Pokemon. Maybe we might see him buy a mask. It's possible that he could buy a mask for Halucha, for Frogadier. I almost said Froakie for a moment, but for Frogadier, who knows what he can buy for him. Fletchinder, who knows. Pikachu, probably just get him a bottle of ketchup because Pikachu loves ketchup. But I highly doubt there'll be any ketchup in Kalos since Kalos is based off of France. But back to the episode. As I was saying, we might see the compilation of them shopping, and then that's when the date starts because the date is the first thing headlined in the episode title. So either the date will take place first, or the date will be the main topic and will be a majority of, well, take up a majority of the time of the episode, which means the date can be 15 minutes long. Excuse me. Sorry about that. But the date can possibly be about 10 to 15 minutes long, which I would be extremely okay with, because I am a huge Amore shipper, and I know anyone out there who is an Amore shipper agrees with me, and they want this date to be as long as it can possibly can be. Okay, well, the picture that I'm looking at from the magazine scan is, I'm getting two different ideas of what's going on. My first idea is that they're both standing on a dock, and this is when Serena says, "Hey Ash, let's reward our Pokemon for all their hard work and helping us, and let's just get them something that will show them how much we care about them. Let's go shopping for gifts." And maybe that's why Ash has the face like, huh? Or they could be on the monorail, and Serena could possibly bring up something from their childhood that they'll talk about. And maybe this is where that oath tree will come in, just like KG Prestige has said in one of his videos, that quite possibly out they can go out and they can talk, and Serena could possibly bring something up from their childhood. And from the picture, that's what I really think will happen. Serena will be happy describing something to Ash, and Ash will just be like, huh? Like he doesn't remember, because he barely remembered Serena in episode 7. But it's just a possibility of mine, or a theory of mine, I should say, because that's what this really is. Just discussions explaining my theories. So, sorry for the pauses. It's just I'm looking at the picture and just thinking of things that can happen. So if Serena does bring up another thing from their childhood after Ash helped her out of the forest, quite possibly we could see what this vow tree or oath tree, depending on how you know it, really what it really is. Because honestly, I have no clue what it is. I tried looking for information on it, and the only thing that came up was a tree that's in Laverse City. But they're in Coumarine City. Laverse City is up north from where it is. So literally they have to travel to Lumios. From Lumios, and then from Lumios they gotta travel to Laverse City, which is a whole complicated process, and probably take like 20, 30, even 60 episodes of that just to get to. But the I have a strong feeling that the vow tree or oath tree, again, will have something to do with their childhood, that she will bring up and say, "Okay, hey Ash, since we're alone, I want to bring this up. Do you remember after you helped me out of the forest and we stopped by this tree and we just started talking, and we both made the vow that if we ever saw each other again, or we'll travel together, but they're already doing that, so that we can cross that one off the list, or if we ever saw each other again, we'd go on a date." And that's how it could be. Maybe they said, "Okay, let's go out when we're older, if we see each other again," and that's maybe that's where they made their vow. Maybe that's what the vow is, that they vowed that if they ever saw each other and got together again, and if they ever had the chance to, they would go on a date, or they would try to be boyfriend and girlfriend, which in my opinion would be great, but it's too early in the series. But really the vow may be that they were to go on a date, and we're getting that now in this episode. So it's quite possible that Serena will bring something up from their childhood, and that's why Ash has this face just like, huh? What are you talking about? And Serena just has a smile face like, oh, you know. But we just have to wait and see. There's another possibility that they could take the magnet train or the monorail. I forget how they mentioned it in the series, but I know there's a magnet train or monorail within Coumarine. So it's quite possible that they could be sitting on a monorail talking, and that's when she brings up a past memory, or something like that. And and they just take that from the Pokemon Center to the shopping center, and then maybe we might see this Valkyrie come into play when they're walking back. Because what if they miss the train, the last train of the day, so they have to walk back, and they just like run into a tree, and they're like, let's just take a break for a little bit from walking. I'm a little tired, or and maybe they'll just talk about it. Maybe they'll just talk about something and vow to do their best and fulfill their dreams. And I believe this is something that KG Prestige also said as well. That they can vow, or this tree, they'll make a vow or they'll make an oath that they will do their best no matter what happens. But it's quite possible that they can make a vow or they can make an oath that no matter what happens, they will stay together. No matter if she wins and becomes Kalos Queen, they'll stay together. No matter if he wins and becomes the champion, or the league champion, or possibly even the champion of Kalos, that they will always stay together. Or if they even both fulfill their dreams, they will stay together. I mean, anything can happen in this episode, and it's just something that you can speculate on for hours at end, depending on who you talk with. Now to the date. The date, like I said, could probably come after they do their shopping. So it's quite possible that after they do their shopping, they can go and have a date together. They can possibly get ice cream or a pastry, or just do something and walk together. Maybe somebody will see them and say, "Oh, are you guys on a date?" And what if what if even Ash doesn't deny it? I mean, who knows what can happen? So until then, it's just further speculation of mine, and something that I will be talking about with some friends, and something that you guys can talk about with your friends. Or if you guys even want to, you can subscribe to me and just follow me on Google Plus, and we can talk there. I will be making a Twitter account for my channel, but that is to come. I do not want to make a Twitter account until I have probably an appropriate amount of followers or subscribers. But I might make it prematurely and follow KG Prestige, Dane. I always butcher his name, but I want to say it's Dane Gaming, and Tyrone the God 3. Those are three guys that I will follow, because I want to try and establish contact so they can see what I have to say regarding the Pokemon anime. But back to what I was saying before. There's so many things that can happen with their date. They can go out to eat. They can go walking together. They can go get an ice cream or a pastry or something together. I mean, a date is a date if it's small and they share something together. Just like when you take a girl out to the movies, that's a date. You take a girl out to dinner, that's a date. Even if you take her to prom or to a dance, that's even considered a date. So what if Ash says, "Hey Serena, let's go get ice cream, my treat," then that's a date. How I see it, it's a date. But it really depends. This episode can contain a lot of things that will make the shipping canon. And in my opinion, this episode will be one of the best, and will possibly be my number one, my favorite episode of this series. So you just have to wait and see. But I'm just giving you guys what I think will happen, and I hope you guys enjoyed. And another discussion I will be having would be discussing after the Malamar episode. We'll be discussing the Gumi episode if we get any previews after the Malamar episode. If not, I will be talking about how episode 59 will tie in with episode 60, which is Serena's first Pokemon showcase, or Tripokemon, and if there'll be an episode that will tie in with Ash's gym battle against Ramos. Sorry, I'm Mexican, so I roll my R's. I want to say it correctly because I hear some people say Ramos, but it's Ramos. I think I'm saying it correctly. Ramos. Sorry for repeating it so many times, but yeah. So it's quite possible that the Vanilla episode will tie in with Ash's gym battle against Ramos, but we don't know. But that's another discussion I will make. So until I make that one, or actually, it'll most likely be my next discussion if we don't get any previews on the Gumi episode. But until then, I hope you guys stay tuned for what I have in store for you. And if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel. And as soon as I can make a Twitter account, I will put the link in the description. And if you guys have a Twitter, please go ahead and follow me and just start adding me on ideas that you guys want me to talk about and certain topics you guys want me to discuss within discussions, because I am open to anything that involves Pokemon. And if I get enough, then I'll do a Q&A where I'll show my face again, because I don't know how many more times I will show it. But until then, just stay tuned for what I have in store, and hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys will enjoy my future videos. So just stay tuned, and until then, this has been the first episode of Roman's Poke Chat with your host, me, Roman. And until then, this is just me signing off. So I hope you guys have an outstanding morning, afternoon, or evening. So goodbye, everybody, and enjoy your day and enjoy your lives. Goodbye.